Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to Ask the Experts. I love this show because these guests come from our authors and speakers visibility playground, and they are heavily rewarded when they participate in the group. And this person today I have is so very special and near and dear to my heart. I've known her for a really long time. And in fact, last November and December, she and I went to London to speak for the Women's Economic Forum. And we just had a great time together, meeting all kinds of people and getting all kinds of business. That was even better. So today, I'll be sharing the power of overcoming adversity. And we want to overcome the challenging situations and circumstances and troubles that we find ourselves in. Have you ever had that experience? Oh no, you probably never have any challenges in your life, right? Not so. And I know it to be true because we all have them. That's a big part of being here on Earth. However, the way we choose to handle them, that's what we're going to share. And the guest that I have today has learned how to master the art of overcoming adversity head on, and you can do it too. So hang in there a minute and we'll be right back. And welcome back to our show. This is going to be so juicy today. I can't wait to dive into it. And I want to talk to you a little bit about our guest for today because she gives me some of the best advice and we talk a lot. And I love spending every minute with her. And hopefully you, after you hear what she has to say, will take the time to spend a minute or two with her too. And I promise that if you only think it's going to be a minute or two, it won't be. So she is highly sought after and she's hard to get together with because she's so busy. And she's an expert strategist in the field of adversity, personal, professional development, and growth. And she, as I just said a little earlier, is an international speaker. She's an author and a group facilitator. As a thought leader, Gloria Braun effectively coaches her clients with compassion, empathy, and understanding. That's what I love the most about her. And you will easily see that she does that when she arrives on the set. She uses thought-provoking, high-energy factual information to foster uncomfortable conversations, along with powerful tools, tips, and techniques that she shares with you. And what these do is they motivate and stimulate you to empowerment so that you have the courage to face adversity moving forward. And best of all, you can do it unapologetically, no matter what. So let's welcome Gloria Braun to the show. Hi, Gloria, and welcome. We are so fortunate to have you here with us today. I'm very grateful.
Hello, Charlene. I am as honored to be here today. It's so exciting. You know, we've been trying to do this and trying to do it, and so here we are.
Yes, here we are. And I couldn't have you on the show at a better time. Why don't you kick us off with the most important thought that you would like to share?
Well, the most important thought that I'd like to share this morning is my commitment to breaking up with stress and anxiety and frustration around a lot of the tension that's going on in the world are really getting wound up in all different ways and different things, and it's hard for them to understand. It's hard for them to articulate what it is that they feel, of emotions that are kind of flying out there. So I think the most important thing is that, hey, I'm breaking up with stress.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. And every one of my clients that have been experiencing the transformational treatment has had a very rough time with stress. I mean, I could feel it radiating through Zoom. I don't know how that works, but it's really, really tough. So the first thing I have to do is calm them down. And I have clients of all races because I don't see color. You already know that. So, what are your thoughts on what you would tell people who are facing adversity? They're facing these problems with what, marching in the streets, having their cities broken up. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, I actually a couple of days ago was on a Facebook Live talking about the same thing. And what we talked about is forgiveness. And I think that right now, that's the one thing that we have to really hold on to, because there's so many different things that are going on, and it looks like, yeah, it's one racial, just of everything, but everybody has, in some way, shape, or form, been affected throughout this the world, period. And no matter what race you are, what ethnicity you are, what gender you are, you have faced something that was traumatic in your life. So, as an African American, I say, okay, it's been 400 years. 400 years. But then I find that a lot of my counterparts that are not, that don't look like me, feel guilty around a lot of what's happened in the last 400 years. And some rightfully so, some definitely not. So what I'm feeling right now is the tension and people not knowing what to do. And it's time for us to start having difficult conversations.
I really agree with you because you saw my show last week where I was talking about we have to be careful what we say. We can deliver a great message, but if the tone of our voice or how we say it or how it comes across to others affects them personally, they can get very upset. So when you're thinking about these things, what's your advice for how people can talk to others so that they don't hurt their feelings, so that they elicit compassion? Because the reality is, when you go back 400 years, I don't remember being alive at that time. So it wasn't me who was involved in that. So how do I make an impact in the world now since I wasn't there? I didn't do it, and I wouldn't have dreamed of doing it.
Exactly, exactly. And the first thing that I talk about is acknowledging that there is an elephant in the room.
Yes.
Don't just, you know, let's just pretend like these things aren't happening. And, it's like, oh, well, we're great, we're fine. And then, we have people that are throwing out these epithets, and, it's white privilege. And what does that mean? And it's like, well, they can't explain it. Some people can't explain it, and they feel bad about having it. And why do they feel bad about having it? And I think that just acknowledging the elephant in the room, number one, and number two is that, yes, things have happened. There is a disparity, and just being real about it. And I think the the authentic way of connecting with people is just being honest, just being real. It was interesting. One of my associates asked me the other day, she says, well, what is it that white people need to know about Black people? And I asked, what do you want to know? Because being open and authentic is the most important thing. So the first thing I said is that we don't like people touching our hair. He was like, oh, I mean, really just kind of breaking it down to, I don't have to go full on into it. Let's just have a intelligent conversation about it, and everyone feels comfortable about what it is they want to ask. They feel confident in their ability to have the difficult conversation. It does not have to be an argument, and we don't have to agree either. We can to disagree.
I think another thing is I was listening to a podcast the other day, and it was, well, you people. And then that person came back with, well, you people. And I think that's a very unfair way to think about things, because we're all souls. It just happens that we're in different colored bodies. We all have the intelligence and the ability to do wonderful things in life. We've seen that over history. So, where does the you people come from? Do you know?
Yeah, I do. Um, because a lot of times races, ethnic groups, genders do not want to take responsibility for their own actions. And so it's always you people. It's not even you people in this situation right now, or those people, or whoever. It could be in a relationship, you people or that person. But I think to erase that stigma, it's important that we take responsibility for, I mean, our actions, who we are. And like you said, you weren't around during those days, but you've certainly heard about it. And there is a true disparity. Black people are getting killed. Black men more so are getting killed by police officers. They're scared to death. As a black woman, I have to literally share with my sons, if you ever get stopped, first thing you do is put your hands up. But that's defending themselves. They can't just get stopped and give them their driver's license. Put your hands on the dashboard. Make sure they see your hands, because there has truly been a number of black men that have been unfortunately killed by police officers. I have a experience of my own where my son, oh, it's been probably about 10 years ago, was shot 7 times by an Oakland police officer because she was overzealous. She was overzealous. She asked him to get out. Well, actually, he was walking into the store, and she asked if his name was Corey. No, his name is not Corey. He turned around and said no and kept walking. And she said, "Get back to your car." And he went back, but he went back to his car. And I guess it was too abrupt for her. So when he turned around, she totally lit him up. She shot him 7 times. And not only what that wasn't even the worst part. The worst part was they left him laying there, and they called the paramedics, the coroner's office.
Hmm.
One experience that I was with my older son, that's now 41 years old, that was just had to fight 6 police officers in front of his house. I mean, he's a computer analyst, and he was working for Gilead Sciences at that time. And he walked out and he said, "What's 6 of them?" And they did go to court, and the charges against him were dropped because they said he ensued what happened. But how do you ensue that when there's 6 police officers that are they're on top of you?
Mm-hmm.
So now that we have cameras and we're starting to see things, I think a lot of people are starting to understand, and not only
Mm.
black people, but people of different ethnic groups, different races are starting to see, well, that it's really happening. It's really, really happening. And it's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. And so how do we separate ourselves? We don't
Excellent.
separate ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We do not do that, you know, and this is adversity. We talk about adversity. We've got a lot of things going on right now. We've got the pandemic. We've got, you know, we've got unfortunately people being killed, people tearing up the city. A lot of things are going on. We're sheltered in place. A lot of things are going on. And so how do you deal with those things? And because it's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's a
All at
lot.
once. All
It's
at
a
once.
all at one time. All at
Mm-hmm.
one time. So we have white people saying, well, we don't know what to do. And I for the first time in my life, I've seen us coming together. I've seen them saying, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to respond to this. And that is different. That's different.
Yeah,
I'm
and that
seeing
opens a
in most
conversation for compassion, right? And
exactly,
understanding.
most definitely. Most definitely. Can you ever fit in my shoes? No, nor can I fit in yours. But I can be I can really have empathy for where you've been, what's gone on in your life. I can have empathy because we're all human beings. Well, some of us act like human beings, others of us, you know, are kind of on the other side, you know, thankfully it's not that many. More people are coming and saying, you know, I understand. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we've been asking for 40 acres and a mule for 400 years. And now I'm just the value of the 40 acres and the value of the mule. I don't need the mule and I don't want to work 40 acres. Just give me the money. But there is a economic disparity. It is. I was watching something the other day and it was sharing that, you know, even though black people are becoming very educated, we're now going to Ivy League schools and have some amazing amazing careers. It still is a huge disparity, a huge disparity in government. It's a huge disparity of representation. There's a huge disparity. So yeah, no, we haven't said anything, and we've done our protests, and we've kind of spoke out every once in a while. But now we're seeing other people coming and saying, you know what? I just really want to understand. And that's the part that I appreciate because we can get somewhere if we can have a conversation. And because it is a difficult conversation to have, it takes some finesse and
Yes, finesse is very important, very important. And that's what I was talking about with regard to knowing what to say, how to open the conversation. So let's do a little bit of how. How, if like, we'll just role play with us. If I wanted to ask you a question about, since you're Black, we'll talk about the Black community. Is that all right? Yes? I think we might have a delay for Gloria.
having a hard time hearing you.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's my thing. Okay. Is that better? Maybe. Okay. So if we are having a conversation and I want to open that conversation with you, and I want to ask you about the Black community and what would be the best way to make sure that if I'm having an event, that Black people are included and that they're comfortable with that. What's the best way to do that? Because I know you're really good at congregating white people in and mixing.
Compassion and understanding.
Yes.
Compassion
Okay.
and understanding.
All right.
And sometimes, okay, I can hear you now.
Oh, good. Okay. Perfect. So how would I open that conversation? I mean, I know how to open the conversation because you and I talk all the time, but what would be
Exactly.
the best way to approach you for support in doing that?
Well, one of the things is just to ask the question, What is it that you want to know? What is it that's stirring you up inside now? What is it that's making you feel significantly uncomfortable around what's going on these days? And I think that if we're really authentic with each other and share what it is that's on our hearts and what's on our minds, then we can get somewhere. Is this going to um, clear up in the next 20, 30 days? No, it's been 400 years.
Right.
So it's going to take a lot of, but we can start right now having the conversations and moving forward to make things better. How, how in our communities do we work together? How do we come together like you and I do? How is it that we can agree to disagree and still have a level of respect for each other? I think that's the most important thing, is that we can agree to disagree but have a level of respect for each other, because right now this is what the world looks like
Yeah,
right now.
absolutely. Yes.
And
Yes.
it's topsy turvy. It's like this. So how do we get it back in a place where we can hold it and nurture it and respect one another, and see the beauty in each one of us? See, all these are different colors.
That's beautiful.
All of different colors. And as we expand, we learn more about each other. And as we learn more about each other, we can serve each other better. And as we can serve each other better, then the whole world is a better place.
Absolutely. So maybe if you are going to start a conversation, you might say something like, Gloria, I have a question. Do you have a minute? So you have to ask permission first. Would you agree?
I do agree.
Okay.
I do
And
agree.
yes. And then you could say whatever it is that you wanted to ask, whatever's on your mind, authentically ask it. Correct?
That is correct. Now, I
Okay.
have had some close associates just call and say, I'm a white person and I don't know what to ask. I don't, and really just being real and being
Mm-hmm.
honest and respectful. And they have said, I don't know, I'm white and I don't really understand, and I don't know why so many people are mad, and I don't know why people feel this way, and I don't know, and just be real and authentic, and that's all that anyone ever asked for. I asked for that from you. You asked from that from me, and I think that that's how we can really start the conversation. Yeah, I'm always available. I'm always happy to have a difficult. I am the master of difficult
Yeah,
conversations.
you really are. And it all starts with don't touch my hair.
Exactly. Do not touch my hair. Matter of fact, I should be, to this morning I felt like don't touch my hair myself. But understanding even some of the nuances of each other's ethnicities and race and colors and genders is important.
Yes,
What do you
absolutely.
say? What offends you? What offends people? We don't know, so we go around saying it all the time, and people are just getting more upset and more upset because we keep saying it, but no one says, "Hey, that offends me," or "Hey, that's not really good to say," or "Hey, you could get popped in the mouth for that." Yeah,
And a good hey is that hurts my feelings.
that hurts my feelings. You're absolutely right.
Yes.
You're absolutely.
And I think that if you are coming from your heart and not just your head is full of fear, but your heart is full of love. And if you're coming from your heart, then you can be just as conscious and courteous to others as you'd want to be treated yourself. It goes back to that old adage of treat others how you want to be treated. But be authentic, be sincere. If you have a question, ask it. Ask the question in the most tactful way that you can and say, here's what I've learned. What do you think? And give them a chance to respond to the question that you have. Would you agree, Gloria?
Most definitely. I think that's the only way to have a fruitful conversation. Because remember that we're all right now planting seeds. We're all planting seeds right now, and we're looking for the harvest.
Mm-hmm.
But if we do not nourish the seeds, and we do not water, and we do not pay attention to what we've planted, it's not going to grow. And so, what
Absolutely.
we're looking for right now is a harvest, a beautiful harvest of all nations and all ethnic groups and all people. And yeah, will it be all? No, it won't, because it'll be some that won't want to be a part of it, and that's fine.
And so in that case, we have to really think about who we are as an individual and start looking at the soul of other individuals and not just the color. We all
Most definitely.
come from different backgrounds, right? Everybody comes from a different background. And we all learn things differently and we all experience life differently. But reality is that everything that's happening is all being interpreted up here instead of here. And it's all fear up here and all
Fear.
love here. Absolutely. So, Gloria,
Yeah.
I know that you go into businesses and you help bring the group together and tell us what it is that you can offer my audience that could really support them in the future.
Well, right now, I'd love to offer a 30-minute consultation as it relates to overcoming some of the adversity that people are going through now. There are certain steps that we use to share with people how to move from that place, because we're all in adversity is just part of life.
Yep.
Once we get out of one, we're in another, so if we ever stop, we're paralyzed. We're totally paralyzed. So moving out of that anxiety, moving from the frustration, moving from the fear of everything, and having a safe place to have a conversation is what I'm offering right now. And that's a 30-minute consultation with me. Uh, we can go on further than that. I do a lot of analysis. I do evaluations, and sometimes we don't know where the pain, the anxiety, the frustration comes from. So I'm able to go and share some of my experiences of overcoming obstacles and facing my fear and moving forward, and so that you can see that it is absolutely positively possible. The first thing is that you have to know that it's possible. And some people say, oh no, it's just insurmountable right now. Too many things are going on. I don't really want to deal with it. I don't really want to talk about it. And that's just fine, because guess what? They're going to be there tomorrow and the next day and the next day. And then 10 years from now and 20 years from now, they're going to still be there. And that's part of what, it's actually part of what takes us away from ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
It,
I think we
it
should
takes
have a panel with every different race and color and let people come and ask questions. Wouldn't that be cool? They could just ask
Oh, that would be
questions.
great.
Yeah, we need to
That would
talk
be
after
great,
the show.
because
I
there
think,
is, I think you're absolutely right, and because there is no stupid question.
right.
There's no stupid question, and I think that we're not having conversations because people are afraid, or they say, well, that's stupid, and I shouldn't say that, or I'm going to offend. Well, let me just make everyone comfortable right now. I don't offend. um if anybody in the room is going to be uncomfortable, it's not going to be me, because I'm a place of truth and love and respect for others. So that's who I am, and that's who I'll always be, as a woman, as a Black woman, as a mother. um I
A grandma, a
Yes,
business owner.
a
The sky's the
grandmother.
limit with
Yes,
you.
it is. And I love life. I love people. As a matter of fact, doing the stay in place is kind of okay. I hear, for some people that are introverts, but
Mhm.
us extroverts that like being out with people, we're really having a tough time being inside. Um, I've got a lot done. I've been writing. I've been, reading, and having conversations with people over the phone and doing webinars. But as far as going out and being with people, I love being with people because that's how I learn.
You see,
That's how
so
I learn.
Gloria's going to be waiting for your connection. And Gloria, we have run out of time. This goes so fast. And I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time. It's early in the morning for you, and let you know how much I love and adore you. You know that, and appreciate you. So,
Thank you so
everybody, you are welcome. So, everyone, I know we are running a bit over. I apologize, but I wanted to make sure that you had an opportunity to really get to know Gloria Braun and what she represents. And don't forget, if you want to be on this show, be sure to join the Authors and Speakers Visibility Playground on Facebook. And we have a business mastermind every Thursday at 10 o'clock Pacific time. And those who are members are allowed to join for free. And also, we refer each other. So if you need more business, if you'd like support from these high level business owners, we're here for you. Come and join us at the Authors and Speakers Visibility Playground. See you next Friday.